Hello folks, I hope that you're all doing well. We have the radio from Retevis. They were very kind to send us a radio again for their review. So we have their Ailunce HD1, which is a great dual band VHF UHF 10 watt radio, handheld radio that supports the analog and DMR mode. It can also support the GPS if you want to, and it's also IP67, which makes it waterproof. So let's see what's in the box. I'm sorry that everything is not in the original packaging, because I always test those things before I do the review, and I was very interested in this radio because I read a lot of reviews to this radio and they said this is one of the greatest radios on the market for that price. So I was really curious, and I did a test for it about 2 weeks approximately, and I'm really amazed by this radio. I will definitely make it my everyday carry. So this is one of the greatest radios that I had my hands on. It's really great. You'll see why. And really easy to use. So it's the radio itself. I'm again sorry that everything is not in the original condition, because I tested this radio. So it's radio itself. So just a basic radio. It looks like it's some Motorola professional kind of style. So it looks durable. We have the big keypad, the big screen, the IP67 connector on the side for speaker and mic and also programming cable. We have two 360 knobs on the top. This one is for channels and changing zones. Another part on the settings, well, this one is for the volume and for turning on and off. This is the antenna connector. It's SMA female, which I never had problems with the female connectors, but I did with the male connectors, which is very great. On the side we have the PTT button, the F1 and F2 button. So it also contains the very big battery. I think it's 3,200 milliamp hours, which is very great. On the back we have the belt clip. I always install those, and this one is really durable. I like those. The radio is all like Motorola styled, which makes it really looking good, and it lays good in the hand. Very great feeling. So we have the standard charger, antenna. It's VHF UHF dual band antenna, SMA female. The charger, and also the user's manual, which is very great. It will tell you everything that you need. And we have like some kind of string. So let's go to the radio. So here we are with the radio. So as I said, the radio is very durable, waterproof, and it feels really great in the hand. As you can see, it really looks like some kind of Motorola radio. On the side I took the cover off, you can see that the connector is also waterproof. I took the cover down, so you can see it looks like it's Motorola styled. I only saw those on the Motorola radios. So let's power on the radio. It also, when you power on the radio, you can put on your power on logo, or it can stay the default one, but you can put whatever picture you want, but make sure that the dimensions are right. You can find them on the Ailunce site. So we are currently in the channel mode. Yes, we are currently in the VFO mode. If you want to go to the channel mode or zone, we press the exit button for a second.
Channel mode.
And we are in the channel mode. The same goes for VFO. So if you want to go channel up and down, we go by arrows.
1, 2.
Or by that big knob on the top of the radio. As you can see, the frequencies are changing. In this zone we currently have 3 channels, but I will show you how to program more channels. So let's go to the menu. Press the menu. Main set. Standard things, squelch. voice, you can choose if you want the voice or not. You can also choose if you want the radio to display the zone name. Some other things. My gain, that's important for the DMR. So we have like some other settings that you need. The backlight if you want the radio screen to power on. If you want the key beep, key lock, channel mode. So in channel mode you have these settings if you want to display the frequency or channel number or channel name. So you just choose what you want. Scan mode, you choose which one you want. So it depends if you want the radio to stay on the frequency for 5 seconds, if you want the radio to stay on frequency or just continue. You choose what you want. So this one for saving channels when you're in the vehicle. Deleting channels, Roger beep. You can set on the time. No stale.
Cancel.
And if you go to the band,
Cancel.
let's see if yes.
Cancel.
So if you go to the band set, we have the standard settings, step, power. We have the high, middle, low. Steps are, as you can see, standard. We have the box level, wide narrow, transmit overtime, CAS. So if you go to the band set, you will have almost the same settings. Step, standard settings, power, high, middle, low, box level, wide, narrow. You can set it on that on digital, only analog, transmit overtime, CTCS, receiving, transmit, receiving. You can choose the channel name. You can choose the shift up. Yes, in channel mode we can set up, but I will show that later. This one is for if you want the shift to go in the minus, plus, or stay on the same frequency. And this is the shift frequency that you want. You can change the color code. That's very important in DMR, because if you don't have the right color code or time slot, you will not receive the traffic. This is the encryption. If you want the encryption on, it also has the enhance and basic. DMR mode, simplex, repeater, double slot. If you want to use the frequency as a repeater, or you want to use the repeater, make sure to set up the repeater. In this one, you can choose if you want the DMR slot 1 or 2. Promiscuous mode. This one decodes the tel groups, so you can listen to some public safety traffic or public safety tel groups. So it decodes the traffic. Radio ID. You can choose between the radio IDs, so you can have multiple ones. Contacts. So you have your contacts. Receiving list, and that's all. In the band A and band B set, we have the same frequencies. Messages, I'll show that later. Call log, so you have the calls that you missed, that you answer, and that are ongoing. Contacts, radio ID, so you can choose the one you want. FM radio, it also contains the FM radio, so you can listen to the FM radio. Let me shut that off.
Cancel.
Encryption, so you can. It's here. It will show you the firmware that you have inside the radio. So that's it. Let me show you how the radio operates. So here we are with the radio. I will show you how you can send a message to a specific tel group. You go to the menu, message, write. You write what you want. Send. On priority, you send that to the specific tel group, or if you choose manual dial, you send that to specific radio. I'll send that to the tel group 5. Sending. Send OK, which marks that the message was sent. So if you go to the sent items, you can see the message that I sent to the tel group 1. So you can also program the quick text so you can just send this straight away without typing.
Cancel.
So I had this radio for about 2 weeks. I'm really amazed by the range this radio has. I could almost get all the repeaters in my area that I couldn't get with even mobile radios. So the speaker is very clear, crystal clear. It's very loud. I'll show you that in a second. We are currently in the digital mode. I'll show you how that loud is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, test. So the speaker is very loud. I'll show you how the crystal modulation is on the other radio from the HD1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. You can set the mic gain if that's too much or too low for you. So I'll show you the programming in a second, but before I do that, I want to show you how it sounds in the analog mode.
Frequency mode.
So give me a second.
4, 4, 6, 3, 2, 5.
We are now on the amateur frequency, but you can type any frequency that you want to listen to. But please make sure that you are licensed to use those frequencies, and always make sure that you're not transmitting on the public safety frequency. You can always listen, it depends on your country and your state laws, but you can always listen to the public safety frequencies. But as I say, it depends on your laws in your area, so please make sure that it's not prohibited. I'll show you in a second how the analog sounds. So here we are now in analog mode. I'll show you how that sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me volume that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is testing. So that was kind of too loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is testing. So the speaker is very great. It's too loud for me, if you ask me, but that's the benefit. So let me show you the programming. It's very easy, and once you program that, you're ready for the field. You also have the code plugs for this radio on the internet, and also if you want to have the public safety frequencies, you can search them on the internet. There are plenty of sites there where you can find the frequencies in your area. The one that I use is the radio reference, so I will show you that in a second. So here we are. This step I will show you how you program your radio. First you need to take this cover off, as I said before. Then you take the cable and you just plug it in, and make sure that this screw is all the way in, so it has the proper contact. Also make sure that you buy the programming cable with the radio if you want to do it programming over the PC. So make sure that you buy the cable, because you don't get it with the radio. So let's go to the CPS where we program the radio. So as you once got everything set up, you got the programming cable plugged in the USB port, and you got the software downloaded from the website. You go to the device, you click on port, you check that your device the programming cable is connected to the correct port. Mine is connected to the port 1, so we choose 1. Then we go to the device if we don't have a code plug that we need, and if we want to write the code plug. So we click the read. Yes. And then we wait. I'll be back once this is done. So after a couple of minutes, we are done. So we can successfully program the radio. So let's go to the basic settings first. Setting. And here is everything that you want. So you just choose on your own what these settings you want. So I'll just tell you some of them. So this is for the voice assist language. You can choose between English and Chinese. Scratch level. So scratch is very important if you want the transmissions to be clear as much as possible. You may want to put squelch on 3 and 4 or 4. 2, 1 or 0 is too much if you ask me. So this is the scan time. Battery power save mode. So choose if you want the power saver. So you can choose here the default zone on band A or band B. So you have like zone A on band A and zone B on band B. So here you can choose the frequency or A or B to be on the power on when you turn on the radio. You can choose the mic settings. Also, you can choose if you want the telephony tone on analog or digital. You can choose if you want the dual watch, so you can monitor 2 frequencies at the same time. If you want the Roger beep. So that's pretty much it. So these are all settings that you choose on your own. You can write the password if you want. So you can have the password on the radio if you want. So on key setting we have the side key programming. So you can choose what you want the button to do, the key to do. ID setting, you choose here the radio ID and the name that you want. For example, radio ID 1 and radio, for example, the name will be radio ID 1. And now when we program that in the radio, we'll have that radio ID available to use. So here are the channels. You can import or export them. So I'll show you how we program the new channel. So you type in the frequency of the receiving. So this is the receiving, this is the transmit frequency. On the receive frequency, for example, I will type 146.520. And on TX, the same one as this is simplex. I'll choose analog. I'll click more, as we have everything there. Channel alias, that's the name of the channel that you want to use. So for example, simplex 1. So this is if you want the scan ad, so you can scan the channel. You can choose the transmit power here. Here are some settings if you need them. The TX authority is if you want to prohibit the transmission when the channel is not free. If you want to prohibit transmission every time, and if you want to allow transmission whenever. So if you go to digital, there is another story. So we are now in digital. You need to make sure that you know the core code and the time slot, because it will not work unless you choose the correct ones. So this is slot. I need slot 1, for example. I'll choose slot 1. The color code is mostly 11. So the combination 11, slot 1 and color code 1. So choose color code 1. Here you choose the group lists where you don't need that in my experience. Here is encryption. You can have encryption. This radio also has encryption. This is the promiscuous mode. That's the mode that I told you earlier. You can listen to every tel group on that frequency. Contacts. You choose contacts here if you want them. If you want for some example, the contact that the first one that pops out when you press the PTT button, it will straight go to that contact. The group, for example. So you choose that here. And that's pretty much it about programming channels. I'll show you another one. We'll go to the zone information. That's pretty important. Here you can create multiple zones, for example analog and digital. So for example, you can create the zone where you will have only the public safety frequencies and the amateur or other frequencies that you may need. So, yeah, so I'm stupid putting digital channels in analog zone, but okay. So, for example, I'll put those here. They're currently in the zone information 1, which is analog. And if I press on 2, that's digital, and I'll put this one in. So, in zone 1, we have these 2 channels, while in zone 2, we have only 1 channel. So, you choose which channels you want in what zone. In which zone. Radio. This is the FM radio. You can memory your favorite radio stations here. So have them set up. That's the zone information that we had earlier. Contacts, you create contacts here. The group call, private call, or all call. So for example, you need the group call 1. If you need the group call 1 and the ID of that group is, for example, 1, and you name that contact alias 1, and make sure that the group it's selected in group call, because if you go to private call and that's the also 1, it will go to the radio number 1, not to everybody on that tall group 1. So make sure that you select the group call or private call. In this case, you need to select group call. Then we have the DMR service encryption. So you can choose the key value that you may need for encryption, but that's not that much important if you will use this radio for the amateur radio or scanning public safety frequencies. And that's pretty much it. I hope that you like this video. If you have any questions, you can always contact me at my Gmail address that I will leave in the description of this video. Also, if you need any frequencies for your area, go to the radio reference website. You have all the frequencies there. I am talking about the US because most of those frequencies on that side come from there, so I'm talking about that. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned folks. Thank you for watching.